So let's talk about, should you buy one? And is it worth the money? I also got my new tires put on this morning. These things are crazy. Check these things out. What is up, everyone? Today I'm going to give you an update and a review on my 1985 Toyota pickup. I figure there's probably hundreds or thousands of videos like this giving reviews on Toyota pickups, especially with how popular they've gotten over the past few years. But I figured I'll go over specifically my truck, and if you're looking to get into a Toyota pickup, probably the best and cheapest way to do it. Also, if you should even buy one if you've never owned one before. I've been daily driving this truck for almost 1,000 miles now, so I just figured I'd give you pros and cons on that as well. And if you're new to the channel or unfamiliar with the truck, I have a couple other videos of when I picked it up and doing a lot of work to it since I bought it. But if you want to go catch up on those videos, go right ahead. So this is my 1985 Toyota pickup, 4-wheel drive, 22R base model. So this is like the barest bones truck you could buy. The only reason it has vent windows is because in one of the last videos, I swapped the doors off of my parts truck that I had. And the only other weird thing about this is it has a newer, or a first-gen Toyota Tacoma bench seat. So that's not original, but the rest of it is just normal 22R base model. So being that it's 1985, it is still a solid front axle, but it was not 85.5, so it has a carbureted 22R instead of the 22RE. This isn't the original motor to the truck. The original one was locked up. The truck sat in a field for 13 years, and the guy I bought it from put this one in. It was a used motor. Apparently had head work done to it when he bought it, and we're kind of unsure what is all done to it. It may or may not have an RV cam. Not sure. Thing does haul really well though, so I'm kind of guessing it does. It feels like it has more power than my old 22RE 1988 that I had. The only upgrade to the motor is the EGR delete in the Weber carb, which is a very common, typical thing done to these things. I actually just took a load of scrap to the scrapyard with this thing, and I had about 500-600 pounds in it. And it hauled at 80 miles an hour just fine. No problem. Going up hills, obviously had to downshift and climb up the hills, but I was very surprised, especially being on 30-inch tires. It took it like nothing. And for anyone that wants my tire specs, there they are. I'm not sure the wheel specs. These are old Eagle alloy wheels. They're actually kind of rare. Not sure the spec on those. I actually just ordered new tires because these things are dry rotted really bad. Some tires more than others, but you can even see like the flat spots on some of the tires, or where there were flat spots, because like part of the tire is dry rotted on just one end of it. I gotta find where it was, but oh yeah, right here. So only this section of the tire on the sidewall is dry rotted. Like, these tires are shot. Like, this is really sketchy going down hauling scrap with these things, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. The frame is actually extremely solid. I know it looks pretty bad, like, because it's brown, but there's no scaling, there's no holes in it. I think it's just because it sat in a field, it ate all the paint off of it. I'm gonna recoat everything and clean it up. Interior is nothing special. I still gotta buy some carpet, saving up for that, but after I get that, the interior will be pretty much complete. 5-speed trans, 4-wheel drive, obviously. No AC, no tachometer, no power steering, no clock. I think it did come with a radio from the factory, but because the wiring was there, but I just put this block off in there, so I have 2 cubbies. I just have a Bluetooth speaker I bring with me if I go on longer trips. Actually, I don't even know. Maybe it didn't come with a radio because there's not even speakers in this thing. I know a lot of manufacturers back in the day, they offered base models with no radio, so maybe Toyota did offer it in these. I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments if you know. Anyways, let's go for a drive and kind of talk about the comforts, discomforts, and drivability. sorry, this video is going to be kind of spotty. It is the next day now. I recorded yesterday with my GoPro and the audio was just trash, so I don't know why, because usually it's okay, but it might have been because of how windy it is and the truck is a little noisy on the inside, especially no carpet. But I'm going to try to go film a little bit more now and redo this. But I also got my new tires put on this morning, and these things are crazy. So I was super surprised when I went and picked up my truck. I basically went in there and told them I need the cheapest set of light truck tires I can get because I just don't have the money for nice tires, and I was blown away. Check these things out. There's so much meat on these. These are all-terrains. They're borderline mud terrain looking tires. And it was less than $500 for a full set brand new tires. And they're just slightly smaller than my other tires, which is good because I don't really need big tires on this, and it helps with fuel mileage and all that. These are basically 28.9 inch tall tires, 235, 75 R15s, some good old Thunder Ranger ATs. So I think they're like a Walmart brand or whatever, some cheap brand, but dude, these things ride nice. And like I said, I was blown away. I was expecting something like the Cooper ATs or whatever that are absolute trash on anything other than dry pavement and rain. But no, I got these bad boys, so I am super excited and grateful for this. Oh, and I just realized that these are 3-peak snow rated, so that means the rubber compound actually stays soft on lower temperatures. So dude, this is crazy. I've never owned a set of these tires, so I'm really excited to try them out. Just look at how aggressive that tread is. Even like look how the gap is in those sipes. So these things have got to be pretty good in the mud, and obviously the snow too. There will surely be a tire review down the road with these things. We'll take this truck out in the mountains, hopefully after it rains one of these days when there's actual mud and stuff where we can test the grip out. But yeah, anyways, we'll take this down the road. It also drives way smoother now. The steering wheel would shake around like 70 all the way up to like 80 miles an hour, so it doesn't do that anymore, which is extremely nice. Anyways, let's try this again, going for a drive. I might just have to use my phone and talk to you guys through this because the audio pickup is way better on my phone, but we'll see what happens. Alright, we'll try this again with my headband mount, so it's a little closer to my face rather than being mounted on the rear window. Drivability wise on these things, I mean, going 70, 80 miles an hour drives straight and smooth. It doesn't drive like a Jeep where you're all over the place, and I don't know, it feels way more stable than something like that. So comfort wise in this, obviously there's not many amenities in this thing when it comes to comfort. It's a simple truck. There's no, like we talked about before, no AC, no power steering. It's a little noisy, wind noise especially with how windy it is today and how the lack of sound deadening was back then. But really drives nice. You can feel the road. Without the power steering, it's still not bad to steer. I mean, when you're trying to park or something or back up a trailer, that's when it's the most inconvenient. Other than that, really no problems. Cup holders non-existent, so just get yourself a couple of these bad boys and you're good to go. They just hang on to your glove box. But trying to go a little slower too, so there's less noise. It's actually surprisingly quiet in here for what you'd think, as a rock just flies up and hit the door, but it's actually a lot quieter. I don't know how bad the camera quality audio is going to be again, but it's really not that bad. I can sit here and have a conversation with someone just normally without raising my voice if they're in the passenger seat, but especially because they're basically shoulder to shoulder with you. So let's talk about, should you buy one, and is it worth the money? Well, the price on these things have gone up outrageous. My last nice 88 Toyota pickup, I'll put a picture up here. I paid the same price for that as I did for my 1-ton crew cab Chevy K30 square body. It's outrageous because it can't do as much hauling, obviously. It can't do a lot of the things that a big truck could, especially a 1-ton, but the price is the same. I think the main reason behind that is the reliability of these things is just crazy, and how simple they are to work on. I mean, my Chevy has 63,000 miles on it, and I've had so many issues with that truck even to this day. But something like this, or my old 88 that I had, I mean, it just, you turn the key and it goes. I mean, it hardly ever breaks down. I mean, I don't even know what else better to say about it. It's just probably the most reliable vehicle you could ever buy. These, even Tacomas, newer, like older Tacomas, and newer ones are probably the same. I've never owned one, but Toyota as a whole is just the most reliable thing you can buy. And as much as I love my Hondas, Toyotas are probably a little more reliable than even those are. So if you're looking for a truck that you don't need to haul heavy stuff with, or tow big trailers or whatever, one of these will get it done. I mean, you're gonna get way better fuel mileage on one of these little 4-bangers, and you're gonna be putting a lot less money into it regardless, because less cylinders, less spark plugs, just as a whole. And I mean, being a Toyota, you're gonna have less issues with it. So is it really worth the money to get a little truck like this for the same price you could buy a 1-ton? It depends on what you do, I guess. If you need something that you're going to be hauling heavy loads with, or towing big trailers with, then obviously this isn't the truck for you. But if you're just looking for a pickup, you just need to haul some firewood or whatever it is, then I would definitely go with a Toyota over like a square body, because you're going to get the same amount of work done for cheaper, and these are way more reliable. And that's the other thing. If you're looking to maintain your vehicle by yourself, you're not looking to go dump a bunch of money in it to a shop to fix. And that's the other point where you got to realize you don't have all the comforts and amenities in this thing maybe, but you're going to be saving hundreds and thousands of dollars buying an old truck like this that's so simple to work on, compared to buying like a new Tacoma or a new Ranger, or whatever it is, small truck you want to buy, that is already going to cost more than what this thing would, and it's going to cost you 20 times to repair it, if you even have the tools in your shop to work on some of those newer trucks, where you got to use the computers to deactivate stuff and all that nonsense. Another thing you got to realize is you can work these things a lot more than you'd probably think, and a lot more than you know, probably safe. But if you're doing it safe, you know, it is what it is. I mean, a lot of people coming up from Guatemala are buying these trucks and towing 2 of them behind all the way back down from the north all the way south just fine. One truck pulling 2 trucks, flat towing, and they haul them all the way down through Mexico to Guatemala. It's crazy the amount of work that these things can do. If you're not in a hurry, you want to go 60 miles an hour while you're towing another truck or a car, you don't want to go 80, 90 miles an hour, like driving some big old diesel hauling a gooseneck, you know, you're not going to do that obviously. But I mean, if you're patient and you want to save the money and have something that's going to get the work done just a little slower, Toyota. Also, if you're looking to get into a older Toyota pickup, stay away from the 3.0. I think if you know about them, they're obviously just not good motors. They blow head gaskets. If you get them bulletproof, then it is what it is. But they still only get about 13, maybe 15 miles to the gallon downhill. They're terrible on fuel, and they're kind of a pain in the butt to work on. So stick with a little 4-banger, get a 22R, 22RE, and you're good. Anyways, we'll get back onto paved roads, and I'll get up to highway speed and show you guys that. So I'm not going to get on the highway, on the interstate, because it's so windy out today. But this is a 70-mile-an-hour frontage road, so get it up to speed. Close this up so there's less wind noise. Yeah, I don't get that violent like tire shake anymore with these new tires too, so that's really nice. These are probably the original shocks on this thing and steering stabilizer, so that we're getting new ones of those eventually. That'll help with any other sort of vibration, but I mean, it doesn't shake anymore at all, so that's nice. It'll make it a little bit more smoother though over bumps, but here we are, 70 miles an hour. Holds it like nothing. Fighting some wind blowing me sideways right now, but yet. Take it turned around. Give you some full throttle action. Get all 85 horsepower working. We got a headwind right now too, going this way. There's 60. We're fighting a direct headwind too. We're probably like 40, 50 mile an hour headwind. It is so windy these past couple days, and we have high wind warnings, so not usual performance out of this thing right now. Anyways, sorry this video ended up being all over the place because just the way things happen. But if you're looking to get into a Toyota pickup or just a small truck in general, I 110% suggest getting a Toyota. All the rumors about these things are true. They're bulletproof, they're just hardcore trucks, and they're just so simple. Also cheap to fix and really easy to maintain. The hardest part is finding one for a decent price because of how much the market has gone up for these old things. And the best way to get into one, like I said before, is knocking on doors, stopping and talking with people, buying something that needs a little bit of work to it, even if it's something with no motor or blown motor. You just buy a motor for $1,000, $2,000, if that. Your junkyard ones are probably cheaper, and drop one in. You got yourself a $6,000 truck for $3,000. You know, it's just, you got to be willing to do some work if you want one at a decent price, and constantly check Facebook Marketplace. That's where I find a lot of deals as well. You just have to be checking it literally like throughout the day. There still are good deals on these things. You just have to be right on top of it, and sometimes willing to travel to go get it. Anyways, I'm going to wrap up the video here. Sorry it was kind of choppy, just the way things happen over the past couple days, but if you did like the video, I appreciate a like. Subscribe if you want to stay up to date with the builds and the projects, and follow my Instagram, Conjo_brothers, if you want to see more content in there, sneak peeks, and so on. Also, if you want to follow along with this truck, I'm going to be doing budget paint job and a bunch of other little things to it, so stay tuned for that. Also going to be taking it out in the mountains, and probably going to do a tire test on this thing. I want to see how good these things work in the real world. Thanks for watching.